This is The Dose of It, starring Priscilla and Taylor.
Please keep in mind, we are not medical professionals.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Dose of It. My name is Pris.
And I am Taylor.
And if you did not know, now you're gonna know. One of our favorite words to say is...
period. Yeah.
Period. Here. On our last episode, we did read some of the comments. We did. And some of you guys were saying that you're annoyed by us saying period. And I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Okay, this is not a TED Talk. It's not a professional podcast, broadcast, whatever it may be. We are just two girls with a microphone. And our favorite word is period. And we're going to keep saying it. So this whole episode is dedicated to period, and periods, menstrual edition.
Because here's just the thing. Like, if we're gonna get dragged for saying it, we might as well just make an entire episode out of it. And I also just have to say, I totally get where, maybe if a creator does something and you don't really like it that much, well, then guess what? We're just not the creators for you, because that's just our personalities. It just seems like maybe our personalities don't work very well with you, and that's totally fine. But one thing about Pris and I is we're gonna say period to everything. So that's just our personality.
Yeah,
so,
it's just our personality. Literally, we are.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we're just not serious when it comes to like certain shit. I mean, some shit we are really serious about, but I mean, we're goofballs, and I think period is just our word that we like to say, and that's just who we are. Like, if ChatGPT drew up an image of me on the podcast after watching videos of me, period would probably be on a sticky note. Okay, the word period would be on a sticky note. So
the word period would be on a shirt.
Yeah, that's just like part of the podcast. Okay, so if you are here because you love us for us and you love us saying period, then we love you, Pookie. And if you are listening and you're like, yeah, I really can't stand another minute of these bitches saying period, then I'm sorry to see you leave.
Yeah, but
it
was nice knowing you.
That's just who it is. That's who we are, and I love you. And I hope you have a good day.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I have nothing better to say. Period. Yeah.
Okay, so today's episode, I'm going to be touching on menstrual cycles, because while on a weight loss journey and a GLP-1 journey, your menstrual cycles can change, right? So we're going to be getting into that. But before we get into it, hey, I think we have some exciting news that we wanted to share.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I think we might have built something new for people.
And
I think I think it's like a little kind of maybe like a community or like support group type of thing going on. So if you're listening and you haven't heard, we started a Patreon community, which we are so excited about. It is called The Dose of Confidence. And I think we are up to 23 members now.
Oh my gosh.
Which is super exciting. And we're so grateful for all of you that are in and have joined us. We've got to do a lot of really fun things on there so far. We have a little Discord chat and we all talk daily. We share recipes. We talk about side effects and how we're feeling, and just honestly yap with each other a lot. And then on Friday, Pris and I got to do 2 of our little one-on-one sessions. So that's another like perk.
Oh my God, y'all are literally so precious. Like, truly so precious. Yeah. And I wanted to clarify as well that the podcast will always be free and accessible to everyone. We don't plan on making you guys pay to listen to us, because why would we do that? But we wanted to make something safe and more personable on a deeper level to be able to connect with you guys, because when we're on the podcast, we don't get to talk to you guys on a one-on-one basis, or when we are on TikTok and we go live, we can't just talk to you only. And we really wanted to connect with our listeners and our viewers on a deeper level, because this journey can be isolating, it can be lonely, and we we go through things where we think that it's just us going through these things and we're alone, when in reality you're not alone, and somebody could be going through that same moment that you are too. So that is why we created the Patreon as well. And it is not a must. Like, you do not have to go and subscribe to the Patreon unless that's what you want to do. We offer plans from as low as $10 a month to, I think, $15 a month. So, I mean, it just honestly depends on if that's in your budget, and if that's something you wanted to do, then we would absolutely love to have you over there. But if that's just something that financially you can't or don't want to do, then that's totally okay too. You can just listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple, right? Apple Podcasts now?
Yeah, we're on Apple Podcasts now. So
we are on Apple.
Hey, Apple Podcast listeners.
Hello.
How are you guys? Oh my God, we're new over here. It smells new in here.
It smells very fruity.
Yeah, it smells like an apple Apple in here. Can we just talk about really quick though how not like difficult, because like we love you, Apple Podcasts, thanks for letting us on here, but it took us a little bit longer because it's not as easy as it is on Spotify just going on and making an account. Okay, they have to like approve your podcast and you have to set up this thing called RSS feed. I felt like an engineer.
Oh my God.
Signing us up for Apple Podcasts.
Damn.
I was like, what the hell? So yeah, I'm super excited. Like Pris said, it'll always be free to you guys as far as the podcast goes. But this is just more for people who want a little bit more of us and who want to hear us say period more. So we're super excited to see you guys over in the Patreon.
Yes, and also I want to give a quick shout out to Taylor because she does a lot of the behind the scene like technical stuff. So she is a reason why, if you're listening to us on Apple, she's the reason why. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Tay because yeah, she got that shit down. She figured it out. She was an engineer. So if you have any questions on how to fix your Apple account, just send her a message.
No, don't, because I don't know how to do that. Listen, y'all, it took me like a few hours of watching like and like reading Reddit threads and stuff on how to sign it up. But
Reddit hates to see us coming. Yeah, of course.
Reddit hates us. Reddit and ChatGPT hate to see Pris and I coming. I'll tell you that. But
I love
ChatGPT. Kind words.
Yeah, of course. Now, another thing that I want to give a shout out to Taylor is that she's having so I don't know, a little behind the scenes moment here. So I do a lot of the social media stuff, and Taylor does a lot of like the podcast editing. So like YouTube, that's Tay. And so I want to give another shout out to Tay because I was down bad on Friday. I was sick AF. Taylor literally mailed me a freaking medicine and I never had someone do that for me. So that's like so sweet. If they wanted to, they would. So get you a friend like that.
Yeah.
And then
I couldn't let my liver be sick.
Literally, I was like about to give up my liver too. No. She is actually editing this podcast in 2 days. One day, actually, if you really think about it.
One day.
Yeah, one day. So shout out to Taylor for doing that. She's a boss ass bitch. She deserves all the applause.
Oh my God. No, you literally want to kiss me, huh? How about we make out when this episode is over?
Period. We will.
I'm down. Okay. Period. No, Pris, and also guys, like all those cute little clips that you guys see on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram, that's all Pris. So make sure you guys also share love on the socials for all of Miss Pris's work as well, because one thing about her is social media hates to see her come in. Period. Since we are getting into periods today, before we get into like the bloody, deep, dark episode like parts, I'm feeling a little, like I just feel my throat's dry.
Yeah, and honestly, you guys, I'm not drinking water right now. I'm drinking an energy drink because I'm down bad and I need a little boost. So we're not sponsored, but my favorite energy drinks are Bloom. So Bloom, if you're listening, let me know, girl.
Hey Bloom, love you.
Hey Bloom. I know what I was gonna tell you, Tay, earlier when we were on FaceTime. Right now, Sam's Club has the big packs of Alani's. I don't know if it's because it's like a spring flavor or what, but they're $18 for the big boxes of them.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, they only had like 10 left when I was there yesterday, so maybe make sure they still got them, girl. Yeah, they were like,
if it's the cotton candy ones.
I don't know. They were like very vibrant colored. So maybe.
Yeah, that might be the cotton candy ones. Ooh. Guys, look at my new Stan. Isn't she cute?
She's so cuteness. I love that one.
If you're listening, it's like the really light, like baby pink, almost like beige-ish one. It's really, really
good. Yes. Oh, what was that? What was that, guys? I'm thinking I'm scared. Clint, I'm on my podcast. I'm going to give you a shout out. Look at Kevin.
Good. Aw. Hi. All right, guys. So now that we're all hydrated, the beginning of this episode was like funny. We're talking about periods and also period, but definitely, like Pris said, periods can definitely affect people differently. And I am like the prime example of how periods can affect people differently. Kind of getting into like my personal story a little bit about my period is that I got my period as normal when I was like 10 or 11 years old, and it was pretty regular up until I started gaining weight in around high school, specifically around like 17, 18 years old. My period would like come and go. Like I would get it 1 month, but then I wouldn't have it for like a month or two, but then I would get it and I wouldn't have it for like a month or two again.
Yeah.
Well, I remember, I think I was 19 and I got this like really like sharp, like stabbing pain, like in my uterus area one day. And I just like could not, I didn't know what was going on. I was like hunched over. I couldn't stand up. Like it just felt like the worst jabbing pain ever. And so I ended up having to go to the doctor for it because it was just like I was like hunched over and it was stabbing, and I literally thought I was like, oh my God, I was like, yeah, I thought it was like my appendix or something like that, like rupturing. I just thought that something was happening to me.
For sure, yeah.
But I went to the doctor and I got an ultrasound, and they found that my ovaries had like fluid in it, and I had a cyst rupture. So they had kind of whenever I'd explained the symptoms, like I was like, this is what I was feeling. They said, we're going to do a vaginal ultrasound on you. And I was like, well, I'm not pregnant, girl. Like, what do you mean vaginal ultrasound? They were like, that's not what we're checking for.
Oh, I'll just tell you right now.
Yeah. At this part, I was dating a woman. Yeah. So I was like, I know I'm not.
You said, I know you lying.
Yeah. So I was like, why? But so yeah, they looked in there and they were able to see like fluid kind of floating around in my ovaries, and that was like an indication that like a cyst had ruptured. That was the worst pain I've probably experienced like ever. Like it was pretty fucking painful. Yeah, it was not fun. Ever since then, my period has been so irregular. Like I'm talking like bleed for 4 months, I won't bleed for 8 months. I bleed for there was a time in 2021 where I think I literally bled for 6 months. Wow. Like I mean just yeah, because I go so long without having my period that my uterine lining really like it thickens up and it builds up, and it just whenever I do start my period again, it's just constant shedding, and it's a lot of my mental health too sometimes. Like I'm actively bleeding right now. I've been bleeding since May, so just it's like it's just
since May.
Yeah, since May. I've had my period since May. Yeah, so it's just it's annoying. I definitely thought that as I lost weight that my period would get regular, that like things would kind of get back to normal. I will say that usually I have to start my periods with medication, something called Provera, which is like a high progesterone pill that'll like usually just it like makes my period start. I don't really know the science behind it, but it would start my periods for me. But this time when I started bleeding in May, I didn't have to use medication. So I was like, okay, that's a good indication that my body started it by itself. But I think my
because you take that to start it.
I usually have to take that medication, to start the periods.
Oh, to like kick it into gear type of thing?
Kick it into gear, yeah. It helps with the hormones because it's mainly like a hormone imbalance, they tell me.
Okay.
So I guess that helps with the hormones and starts it. I don't really understand the, again, science behind it. I don't know. If y'all know in the comments, let me know if you a nurse or doctor, whatever.
If you're an OB.
If you're an OBGYN listening to this, let me know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, but yeah, so this time in May it started by itself, which was good. Like I didn't have to take the medication. But now I just think my uterine lining, I didn't bleed for 6 months this year. So I think my uterine lining is probably so thick right now that it's just struggling to stop. I actually have a vaginal ultrasound tomorrow because they want to see how thick my uterine lining is right now, and she possibly mentioned an ablation.
What is that?
If it's too thick, where they go in with a freaking laser and burn my uterine lining down.
Oh my god, being a girl is so like ghetto, honestly.
No, it's gross.
And like why? Like can we just like be hot and not like require all of the extra things, And
it's not even like we can get like a hysterectomy, because then that comes with so many other issues, like not having,
absolutely
your that can be hard.
Oh my gosh, yes. I had a coworker in the past who had that, and she was going through it too, like it's just honestly being a woman is hard as AF.
But like seriously, like our plumbing is really bad. Like whoever designed us and designed our pipes is
our
like the worst person ever. Our pipes, yeah, like whoever went in there and was like, yeah, this is how this is gonna be. Like who decided that we bleed once a month?
Dude, truly, like when I was younger, I remember when I first got my very, very first period, and I was like, I thought I was gonna die, truly, because I was like, why am I bleeding? And the fact that we have it every single month is so crazy to me. Like for what? No. And the fact that it's painful
every 3 weeks, like that's extensive. Like why can't it be every,
that's like not fun at all? And then it's usually honestly it's like your period. Also, another thing about Mother Nature is like she knows when you don't want her to come around. Like she knows. She's like one of those girls that if like you think about her, she's gonna be like, I'm coming. No, but I'm really sorry to hear that, Tay. Like that's honestly really rough. I personally don't go through that, but I can't imagine going through it because that sounds like a lot, and you're already like going through a lot as is. So adding on top of that a period that is wanting to play with you is crazy. So I'm sorry that you're going through all of that.
Yeah.
I think for my period, mine's usually pretty like consistent when it comes, but I think with my period it's so painful. Like the cramps are so painful, and I know there's like a word for it, but I'm not like good at words. Like truly, I'm not good at English. So for me, the weeks before I start my period, I get like depressed, I get like sad, I get so emotional, and I'm crying over the littlest things. And usually like right up until my period, I'm like, am I going crazy? Like why am I so emotional, right? Like somebody will look at me and not smile, and I'll start crying. And I'm just like, what the fuck, Pris? And I look at my period app and I'm like, please start my period soon. Please be coming, because if I'm crazy and I'm going manic for no reason, I'm going to like have to check myself in right now. So it always kind of makes me feel a little bit better when I look and I'm like, okay, she's coming. This is normal. Like I'm fine. But I will say, the pain that comes along with my period is the fucking worst. Like, she knocks me out. Like, I gotta be in bed for a couple days because she knocks me the fuck out, and the emotional damage is just crazy.
Yeah, I know. I definitely, getting to know you more on a personal level, I've noticed y'all, like the week before Pris's period, yeah, this bitch is gonna be emotional. But it's just like, it's like, why? Who did this to us? Like, who made us like that? We're gonna be like emotional. We're gonna have to not only bleed out of our cooters, but then it's gonna hurt too. Like, I just like, honestly, like it's so bad. God, it's just a horrible system. And okay, also about like have you ever like, I know you're like weird about medication, but do you take like Midol or anything? Like, does it help, or have you found like?
No, so I usually do take Midol, but sometimes Midol does not help. Okay, this is gonna sound like so weird, and I don't know if I'm like the only one that does this, but like sometimes when I'm cramping a lot, sometimes all that helps is like if I go sit on the toilet.
Oh
yeah, like if I just go sit on it. That sounds really wrong, but it helps. And then I usually have like a heating pad next to me, but it does suck, because obviously like usually your period knows when you're gonna go do fun shit, or like if that weekend you have plans, and of course it like comes and fucking fucks with you. So it's like you want to be out here doing fun stuff, but you are just like, you can't, like you're in so much pain. I remember one time we have like this water park here where I'm at, we're close to where I live, and it's called Schlitterbahn, and it's like a really fun water park. What? Truly. One thing about me is you'll catch me at the wave pool. Like, I love the fucking wave pool. Yes, Mr. Puffer gets me a tube, and I just sit in the tube and I just ride those fucking waves, dude. Because in water, I weigh like 5 pounds, and I can do all types of tricks and activities. So I'm like a little mermaid up in there. So I remember I started my period, and I was having so much freaking fun. My best friend was visiting me, and it was me, him, and Puff. And I started my freaking period, dude. And oh my God, y'all, I was in so much pain. Like, I just wanted to faint. Like, I wanted to faint from the pain. And they have like a heating pool, like a heated pool. So I told them, I said, let's go walk to the heated pool, because that might help, because I don't want to go home. I want to be here longer, but I'm in so much pain. So like, let's go sit in the heated pool. Girl, we walk literally across the water park. It's a walk, and we go into the fucking pool, dude. It's broken. It's cold as fuck. It's cold as fuck. It's colder than the wave pool, and I'm sitting in there, and I'm just like so over it. I couldn't even be in there because I was like cramping so bad. I literally had to text my mom to come pick me up, because I was like, I'm in so much pain right now. Like, I want to die. So if you struggle with painful periods, let me know what helps you, because I have to literally, me and Tara are the same when it comes to like taking medicine. Like, we don't like to take medicine unless we like have to take it. So for all my natural girlies, what are we doing? What are we taking?
Well, I heard, so whenever I was having really irregular periods, people will swear by like ginger root. So I have ginger root. I didn't consistently take it because I'm sometimes bad about that shit, but
ginger root. I'm gonna have to look that up.
People swear by like ginger root to help with like the heaviness of your periods and cramping and the all kinds of stuff. So, but yeah, no, you're definitely like the painful periods are not, like, I will say there's like it's a double-edged sword with my periods being absent, because I don't have to deal with like the painfulness every month, but at the same time, it's like when I do get my period, then I bleed for 6 months, and then it's painful. Like,
that's terrible. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
And then no, it's fine. Like, it's not fine because it's like there's something medically wrong with me, obviously. Like, and I'm hoping that it's mostly just PCOS, because I've had that since like high school. So I'm hoping that it's just the PCOS, but I think it does scare me because it's like the unknown of like, why am I still having irregular periods? I had my pap smear done, so I'm hoping that it comes back normal, and then HPV and I don't have any abnormal cells, because that'll stress me out. I'm just I'm a hypochondriac bitch, and so medical stuff and me don't get along. Like, I can't know about anything medical. I push everything off because I don't want to know what's wrong with me, but then I sit here and worry about what's wrong with me. Like,
I get that. Spiral. And we're gonna be sending all good vibes to Taylor, so comment in the little comment section, little glitter and fairy dust and everything,
and a blood drop emoji for periods.
Oh, period. Oh, I thought you said something else. A blood drop. That's what we're doing. Okay.
Like a blood clot?
Yes, period. Okay. We'll do that. But yes, I totally relate to you when you say that you're a hypochondriac, because I am too. Literally. I've been a hypochondriac since birth, I think. I went to the doctor when I was younger because God, this is so bad, because I was getting headaches, and I told my mom that I thought I had a tumor, and my mom was like, you don't have a tumor. And I was like, I literally do. I Googled it and it told me I have a tumor. Like, it's true. I was depending on Dr. Google for a long time. And so I went to the doctor, and my doctor looked at me like I was crazy as fuck. And he was like, no, you don't have a tumor. And I was like, but I think I do. And he's like, no, it's allergies. And I was like, oh my God.
No, I know what you mean. Like, I was like that a lot, like, especially in high school. I started getting like crazy migraines all the time, and I never knew why. But I went to the doctor for the same thing, and he's like, bitch, it's hormonal. Like,
yeah.
So, like, you're literally, I was like, no, I have cancer.
No, like, honestly, y'all, like, if we're getting on a real deep level, I have struggled with anxiety in the majority of my life. And I think that's another thing that my period really fucks with when it comes, is my anxiety. I have panic attacks like crazy. I can't do certain things without my anxiety like getting triggered, and that's just something that I've dealt with for years now, you know. And I remember when I first felt anxiety, because whenever you're growing up, like, you have anxiety when you're going to take a test, or when something like scary is going to happen, but it's just like a quick anxiety, and then like you kind of get over it once you do it. Well, mine was like stuck, and it wasn't going away, and it was my senior year of high school, and I was dealing with anxiety for the very first time, and I didn't really know how to navigate it. So I went to the doctor, and I was like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, I need you to fix it now, because something is like, I think I have like a heart murmur. I don't know what it is. Like, something is not right. And my doctor was like, yeah, it's anxiety. And I was like, no, it's not anxiety. It's something else. And I need you to fix it today. Like, I'm not leaving here without you curing me.
Without you going into my heart and seeing what's wrong.
Yeah, because I think anxiety and depression are one of those things where it's kind of like you're telling somebody that it hurts and that you want it to like be cut off or like fixed, but they can't see it, So it's like they can't find it. Yeah, so it's like you're telling them like my hand hurts or like my leg hurts, and they can't find it because nobody can see it but you, or feel it but you. So I think that's what I struggled with as growing up, because I struggled so much with anxiety. And it's not like one of those things where you have like the flu or you have the cold where you'll get sick on Sunday, and then by the next week, Monday, you'll be back to normal. You're back to the same old you. But when it comes to like these emotional things like anxiety, depression, stress, even, like, it's just one of those things that is never truly going to go away, but you can manage it. And it sucks because nobody else can see it but you, so it's like, and sometimes, like, if I'm being very vulnerable, like, when I tell people what I am anxious about, they're like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But I'm like, no, like, I wish it didn't make sense to me, but it makes sense a lot to me. Like, when I'm going in the moment, it's like everybody's different when it comes to their anxiety and their hormones and their feelings, and something that might not stress the next person out is going to make me put me on edge. So I think that's another thing that my period has truly affected my anxiety, because I will say, like, the weeks upcoming for my period, I'm on edge. Like, I'm having panic attacks back to back, but it makes me feel better knowing that I'm about to start my period, because I'm like, okay, maybe it's just that, and then after my period, I'm like, okay, back to normal. One anxiety attack a week, we're good.
Yeah. Well, and I think too that, like, I mean, Pris, like, I'm sorry that you struggle with that. I think it's really hard. And I also struggle with anxiety, so I know exactly what you deal with, and it's not easy, and it takes a really strong person to keep going. Pris and I have definitely, like, in our personal conversations, talked about the panic attacks and stuff, and her and I have a very similar story on where our anxiety really started stemming from, and it just kind of spiraled and took over our lives at one point. And so anxiety can be really hard to deal with, and I think also PCOS can actually make anxiety worse. It makes anxiety and hormones and just emotions way worse for people. And so I think I don't want to, like, sit on here and be like, oh, being a woman is so hard. But no, like, being a woman is so hard. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, the shit that we deal with is just so frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just like you said, Pris, like, we can't just go to the doctor and be like, this is what we're feeling, fix it. Like, because they're just like, most of the time they'll just tell us that's hormonal, or maybe they won't listen to us if something actually is wrong, or other times it literally just is hormonal and we feel like we're dying, or like you said, anxiety. Like, I know exactly, like, I'll get heart flutter sometimes. Like, it'll literally feel like my heart skips a beat because I'm just sitting here like, I don't start to get a panic attack, and then like my chest starts throbbing, and then but it's just so weird to think that it's just anxiety and there's nothing that they can do about it.
Yeah, and it's hard.
Like, yeah, it's like, oh, do the circle breathing technique. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, I wish I could.
Breathing. Like,
yeah.
That doesn't work for me. It doesn't, so
yeah.
I think all of that stuff gets scary.
It gets a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely really scary, like just going through all the emotions and anxiety and all that shit, and it all goes to us like being hormonal and just anxious, and sometimes, especially with PCOS, it's really hard for us to control those emotions and stuff. And so I think something else that people a lot of times will ask us about like periods is, do we ever get cravings around our period time, especially being on a GLP-1?
Yeah.
So do you ever, even while you're on a GLP-1, like right now we're both on our period, so like have you been feeling a little bit more cravey, or like within the I know you're sick this week, so maybe like in the past few months of you being on a GLP-1, do you find that you get more like craving time around like your period time?
So it's crazy because when I first started taking my GLP-1, and I've talked about this before, I think a lot of things that come with taking a GLP-1 is like people think that you're no longer going to be hungry, and for a while, I believed that. And so anytime that I felt hunger, I was like, this is not working. I need to up my dose, or this medication's just not for me. Like, it's just not working. When my period would come around, I would get so hungry. Like, I would crave food. I would want to eat and just not necessarily binge like I used to, but I would want to eat, So I was like, okay, this is not working. I'm having a rough week. I would automatically say I'm having a rough week this week. My GLP-1 did not work. But no, truly, I've just come to the conclusion that when I am on my period, my body wants different things, and that's okay. And I've just learned to listen to her. Like, if she wants to eat cereal at 5:00 in the afternoon, I'm going to eat some cereal, So yeah, the cravings are definitely there when I'm on my period. I've learned that it's my period, and I am good. Cravings are still definitely a thing for me, especially when I'm on my period. I think they come a little bit harder, if I'm being real, because the food noise is not as present. Whenever I can hear her, I'm like, damn, she's back, But I just listen to my body. Like, truly, like if I want to eat a sweet because I want it, I'm just going to have a little bit of it, What about you?
Sweet treat.
Oh, sweet treat.
Little sweet moment. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I definitely have told people before that around your period time, it's so common to get those extra cravings or to feel like I crave this. A GLP-1, it does help with the food suppression and it helps with the food noise, but it's not, like Pris said, it's not going to take away the hunger. You're still going to feel hungry. And so around my period time, I find that I'm a little bit more hungry than usual. And sometimes, when I'm bleeding, I'll be like, oh, it's some chocolate still, chocolate still sounds good to me. Or, maybe I want to order some Chick-fil-A. Like, I still get those little cravings around my period time as well. But I feel as though finally for the first time in forever, we're experiencing cravings as someone normally does.
Yeah.
In their lives, if that makes sense. Like,
for sure.
Before GLP-1, I feel as though we did that all the time. Our food noise was constantly going and we were constantly craving things all the time. There was never a difference from when we started our period to where when we weren't on our period.
You weren't able to like
differentiate.
Yeah, can you say
differentiate?
Can you say that a little slower for me?
Differentiate.
Why can't I say that word? Differentiate.
Yeah, differentiate. We weren't able to like differentiate. It's like one of those words where it sounds weird once you say it so many times. We weren't able to tell the difference between like, having a period craving versus cravings because we had cravings all the time. So now I feel like it's different because now our food noise is suppressed like it should normally be. We're not constantly thinking about food on a day-to-day basis. So when our period comes around again and we start thinking about food again, I think for once it's finally normal, or like we start having cravings, not thinking about food, but we start having those cravings. I think how women normally are supposed to, instead of thinking about it 24/7, 24 hours, 365.
Thinking about dinner at lunch. Or no, thinking about dinner at breakfast.
So finally we're having the normal cravings that someone would have around their period times, and honestly embrace it. Embrace that they're only coming back during your period. Embrace the fact that food noise is coming back. Indulge in that chocolate bar. Have a Dairy Queen Blizzard. Like, you're on your period. Treat your body a little bit and listen to your body. So hell yeah, we both get cravings around our period time. Period. Tying up the little period episode moment, Pris, I would love to do kind of like maybe like a little hot take, like funny moment.
Okay.
Let's talk about what our like go-to period products are. What do we use for like the days that we are bleeding? Like, what is your go-to? Tampons, pads, Diva cups, menstrual cups?
I'm so happy you asked, and I'm gonna be so real with y'all. Okay, so real with y'all. I forgot to mention, when I'm on my period, I bleed a lot. Like, I'm a heavy bleeder. Okay, explicit content. I'm sorry. So I love me a good period diaper. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I put all my friends on period diapers because if I'm being real, look, okay, I'm a hot girl. I know it, and I'll be the first to admit it, okay? I'm a hot girl, and diapers are hot sometimes. You know, you just gotta stick with the diaper. Comfort over everything. So for me, I hate waking up in the morning and it looks like a murder scene. It just puts me in a bad mood. So I'm telling y'all, go to Walmart, go to Target, go to your closest grocery store that you have. They are usually going to be in there. They got period diapers, okay? And I love them. I love them so much because you don't have to worry about bleeding through your clothes, because on Sundays you got to double stack them. Not the diapers, but like, you know, whatever you're using. I mean, I guess you could double stack the diapers, but that might be a little too much. A little too much.
Diaper butt.
A little.
I had diaper butt like crazy.
Yeah, like crazy. So like depending on how your flow is, you might have to, you know, wear a tamp and a diaper. So it's like for me, I was always like worried that I was like bleeding through or like showing a little spot here and there. That's my go-to. Like if I had to pick one item, it would be the diaper. She's not going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. And I'm gonna wear that diaper every month. I don't even give a fuck.
No, I love that, y'all. And when she says that she's put all of her friends onto the period diaper, she means it. Like, I literally just got mine in the mail yesterday, and I put one on for bed last night and was like, oh my God, wait, this changes everything. Because
and it's comfy.
It's really comfy. So my go-to, like, day to day, like during the day and even nighttime for me has always been Diva cups or menstrual discs. I like them because I don't really like tampons. I don't like the idea of like the TSS, the toxic shock syndrome. That just has always scared me. Again, health anxiety. So I'm, moved over to like Diva cups and menstrual discs. I like them. However, what I've noticed, I also bleed very, very heavily. Hence, I don't bleed for 6 months. So my flow is okay. She's flowing. The dam is broken. Okay?
The dam is broken.
So when I do bleed, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But sometimes I would notice on my heavier flow days, I was bleeding through the menstrual discs. I was bleeding through the Diva cups, especially at nighttime. I bleed heavier at night. Yeah. And I've always thought about getting something like period underwear, like period diapers or something. And so when Pris told me she wears them, I was like, wait. I was like, oh my God.
You said wait. So I guess the hot girls do wear them.
Yeah, I guess. So she sent me the link and I wore it for the first time last night and it was, oh my God, I literally wore it like around my house. Like I had like a little tank top on and just my diaper. And like I was walking around and I was playing Xbox in my diaper. I went to bed in my diaper.
Dude,
like,
tell me it's not life changing.
Yeah, I woke up and there was no spillage and it was so nice. And then I showered and put my Diva cup back in for the day, So like it was just perfect. Like, so thank you for putting me on to the diaper moment.
You're welcome. And don't be ashamed, girl.
Obsessed.
Wear that diaper with pride. Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna. Yeah.
I love me a good and they're not ugly, honestly.
No, they're not. They're honestly because they're cute. They're like pink. Mine are pink and have like flowers on them. They're kind of cute.
And you can even get like a little Sharpie, and like draw on it if you wanted to.
I think that this was a very fun little period episode. Period-us. And just moral of the episode is, Pris and I think we have a very peppy personality. We're very like, oh my God. And that's just how we are. So we do apologize if, our language or verbiage is not for you. That just means that maybe we're not the podcasters for you. And that's totally okay. Or if you're able to, this episode maybe made you realize, you know what, maybe I can listen to them say period. Like, fine, I'll listen to them. Then welcome back. And like Pris said at the beginning, if we're not the ones for you, then that's okay. It was nice knowing you, and not every podcaster or content creator is for everyone, but we definitely, all of you who do listen to us weekly, we definitely appreciate all of you guys and who love our annoying peppy personalities, because you guys are the real ones.
Yeah, I think it's really hard, especially like when you're doing social media, to like lose yourself to what people want you to be or who they want you to be. And I think that's just something that we've kind of stuck to, is like not changing who we are, because I mean, technically, like you could be watching this and being like, damn, it's just not that deep, like it's just period. But at the same time, it's like, that's who we are, and we really do say period a lot. And it's not even about the word. It's just who we are. Like, we just like to, be funny.
Agree with each other and just say, like, period.
We're just like just two girls with a microphone chopping it up like we're on FaceTime. And I don't want to take that out of my verbiage. Like, I like saying it. And I like kikiing with Tay and saying period after every word. Wait, I think it's this way.
Yeah, this way. Wait, come over here. No, you need to make the heart with me.
Oh, it's because you're on the other side. For me.
Oh, wait.
Anyways, we're kind of dyslexic. Before we go, I also want to just remind you guys that we are live on Patreon. So if you're like, damn, I love these bitches, like, how do I get to talk to them even more? Join the Patreon. Another cool thing about the Patreon is that we are coming out with exclusive episodes just for the Patreon. So every month we are going to have an extra additional episode, and this month's episode is going to get a little filthy. So
a little filthy.
A little brown.
Yeah, no, definitely, like Pris said, definitely check out the Patreon. We would love to see you over on the Dose of Confidence. And then, like I said, if you guys are here on Apple Podcasts and you're listening to us, hey, girl.
Actually,
make sure that you hit that follow button. Wait,
I don't know. I haven't run this through Tay, but fuck it. Okay, if you've made it this far to the podcast, right? Comment whatever you want to comment. Comment like, and I actually no. Let's make a theme.
Wait,
go.
And comment your own version of your period.
Yeah, like what word do you say a lot?
Yeah, like what's your version of our period?
Yeah.
If
okay.
It's period, then it's period, or what word do you say a lot?
Yes. Okay. And then me and Tay will do a giveaway this month, and whoever we pick will get a free month to the max dose on the Patreon. It doesn't matter if you already are on Patreon. If you're already subscribed, your next month will be free and we'll up you to the max dose. And yeah. So if you are not part of the Patreon because you're like, yeah, I just can't really afford that right now, or like, I don't really know if I want to pay that money, girl, we got you this month. Comment and then we'll pick a winner and we'll let you in for free this month. And if you like it, then continue on coming in, you know? So yeah, we're feeling a little generous.
Wait, I love it. Yeah, I'm down for it. You didn't run that past me, but hey, I'm down for it.
And now I did.
Really, now you said no. I'm always down for whatever you offer. I think that's a really good idea. We would love to have you guys over, especially if we get the opportunity to give one of you guys a free month. Comment your favorite version of whatever your period is. If it's also period or whatever the hell it is, that's, you know, your go-to word, then let us know. And if you're over here listening on Apple Podcast, make sure you hit that follow button and follow us here on Apple Podcasts. We would really appreciate it since we just hopped over here to Apple Podcasts. We definitely need all the follows we can get.
Yes.
Same thing if you're listening on Spotify. Hey, Spotifyers. Make sure that you also hit that little follow button. And then if you're on YouTube, make sure that you hit subscribe.
Which also,
make sure that you subscribe.
YouTube, we just hit 300 followers or subscribers. So
we did hit 300 subs. So thank you guys so much. And if you're listening, you're not already subbed, just make sure that you hit that sub button. But we do appreciate and love every single one of you for tuning into yet another chaotic episode with Pris and I. But yeah, I just love you guys so much, and I hope that you guys have an amazing week and you get ready for the next episode, because I'm sure it's going to be just as chaotic as this one.
Yes, it is. We love you, and we'll see you soon. Bye, friends.
Bye.